Hey, welcome back to another episode of Flavor and Fiction. Flavor and Fiction is a segment where I read a book from my 2024 reading challenge, and then I give you a short review and make a recipe related to the book, so you get your flavor and your fiction. So if you're here for the first time, welcome. So forgive me for filming in my car again, but I didn't want to delay filming, so I had to, get in where you fit in. So if you hear some construction or cars driving by, just tune it out. So this time, the book that was chosen was an office book club pick, and it was The Celebrants by Rowley. And the food mentioned in the book was pistachio. He mentioned pistachio gelato. So I decided to make pistachio pudding cookies. And I made them yesterday and I brought them into the office. And at the end of this video, you're going to see how I made them. And you'll also get a little taste test from my coworkers. But first, let's get into the book. So The Celebrants is a story of a group of friends who are about to graduate college. It's the night before graduation, and one of them dies. And that's not a spoiler, by the way. That's, up front. There are some questions surrounding his death, and they all kind of have their own belief as to what happened. So the 5 remaining friends decide to make a pact to give each other a living funeral whenever the person calls for it. So, they graduate, and as people do, they kind of grow apart. They have their own lives, they get married, they have kids, and they do all this. So then 28 years later, one of the friends, Marielle, she decides, you know what, I'm going through a divorce. I'm having a hard time. I could really use some people around me. I'm going to invoke the pact. So she's the first one. They're all kind of shocked to hear from her. I guess they all kind of felt, no one's ever going to do this. But they follow through. They meet. They kind of, share their feelings about her, and memories from college come up. And then a year or two later, the next person, for whatever reason, there's a death in their family, or they're having legal troubles, whatever the reason, they decide to call the group for their own living wills. And as time goes on, it's kind of bringing them closer, but it's also bringing up those questions about the death of the friend the night before graduation. And you get a little piece at a time as to what each of them thinks may have happened, and, just little bits of information at a time that you have to kind of string together. And I kind of like that writing style. So then Jordan is the last one to invoke the pact. And I'm not going to give a spoiler, but he kind of shakes up the whole group with his news. And so I would say the biggest theme of the book is, of course, friendship. But it's also about taking chances in life and making sure that you don't waste your opportunities, and kind of a message of, it's never too late. So funny thing, when we met for the office book club to talk about this book, everyone hated this book. I was the only one who liked it. And the reason that they either didn't finish it, which I think is a mistake, because sometimes, you go through a book in the first couple of chapters, you're like, what is this? What's happening? But then you really see it being pulled together. And I think that's what happened in this book. So some of them didn't finish it. And the ones who did, they felt like the characters were not very likable, that they were spoiled and just kind of miserable people. I mean, it's true. Some of them were very annoying. Some of their interactions were annoying. But I feel like I saw the overall picture in the book, and I liked it. When I said I liked it, they were looking at me like, what? But whatever, I liked it. So maybe 1 thumbs up. I recommend, reading the book. Okay, so now that I've given you a little review, let's talk about these cookies. I made them with my stand-up mixer. It was my father and my mom and dad gifted me this stand-up mixer for Christmas last year, and this is my first time using it. And it went really well. So here's a video of how I made them, followed by a video of the taste test. You want to start by mixing your flour with your pistachio pudding mix and your baking soda, your salt. You want to whisk that up and then set it aside. And then in the mixing bowl, add your butter, your sugar, and your light brown sugar, lightly packed. And then you're going to use the paddle attachment. And this is me starting up the mixer for the first time. So exciting. Look at her go. And you want to do that until it looks light and fluffy, like that. Then you're going to add in your egg, your vanilla, and the food coloring. Now it says to add 1 drop, but when I did, you can see the color is not really coming through. So I actually stopped it and added a few more drops of food coloring so it looked like that. And that's what we want. So when the dough looks like this, you're going to stop and add in your white chocolate chips. And add in however many chopped pistachios you want. And then give it a good mix. With 2 hands preferably. Then you want to put parchment on your baking sheet or your aluminum sheet like I had. And then you want to take your dough and roll it into 24 balls of equal size. And this is what they will look like going into the oven. And this is what they look like coming out. I just wish they hadn't gotten so brown because it kind of took away from the green color. But other than that, they came out absolutely perfect.
How's it going?
Hello.
I don't know which one to choose.
That one right there, that's standing, yeah.
This one?
Because it's looking at you.
Cheers!
Cheers. Okay. Don't warm. Oh, God. That was really good. Oh, sorry, yes, very good.
This is really good.
Oh my God. It kind of reminds
It's
me.
all right.
Like every time. It reminds me a little bit of what a chocolate macadamia nut cookies.
That's what I'm thinking too. Like getting like a pistachio kind
very
of flavor,
delicious.
but
I'm with Rachel. I don't really taste this pistachio. I taste a hint of it at the after. Like,
Go further into the cookie. You will taste the pistachio.
for those of you who can't hear or see Rachel, she's saying to go further into the cookie. I taste it.
I think there's a pistachio right here.
But it's like the aftermath.
I really like it.
Not bad. I should have taken them out a minute earlier.
I don't taste pistachio, but I like it.
I don't remember
Like-
what pistachios taste like.
I'm waiting for it.
I just know that this tastes good.
So as you can see, they were well received. And I got to tell you, everyone else loved them. I got so many people messaging me like, oh, thank you for bringing these in. These are amazing. And I was like, oh, okay. Because like I like them. They tasted like a boosted sugar cookie. Like I tasted the pistachio flavor more toward the middle. But I thought they were just okay. I think I know what to do a little differently next time, including add more food coloring. I wanted them to be like green, but whatever. So I'm going to put a link to the book and to the recipe in the description below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That's it for this segment. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Happy reading and happy eating.